Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for, yes, we have survived Easter. I'm not so sure if I will be resurrected tomorrow, but it's Real Podcast number 6, and we're coming to you live with Miami Mashup, and I have my two favorite ladies co-hosts, Janina. And the tennis gods have smiled on us once again. We don't know what we've done, but we're taking it. Andrine is here with us again, live in living colors. So, ladies, we're going to be talking about Miami Mashup. There's nothing else to talk about. I don't think anyone died, raped anyone, got busted, got married, engaged, plan on having a baby. I don't think anything happened non-tennis related. A lot of what happened on court, right? If I'm not mistaken. I don't know if you had any heard of anything from the gossip mill. Oh, by the way, some little troll came after me on Twitter on Friday telling me that I am a gossip
Really?
tennis because he checked out my blog and it was just a bunch of half-naked men. And I was like, "Pooh, you see, I'm a lot of things, but not pop princess, okay?" And I was like, I think that's why I said, "How about you read it, and then you can judge it," But he wasn't interested in reading. He got mad because I said John Isner was not going to win against Novak. He was like, "Isner has a chance." It's like he has a chance because he's alive and he's across the net.
Stop.
I mean, anything can happen. But let's be real. I'm just like, Isner beat Novak twice. Novak beat him 6 times. I was like, Maria beat Serena twice.
10 years ago.
But, let's be real here. I mean, the chances of John Isner beating one of these top guys, it's ridiculous. But, let's not get ahead of ourselves. But let's just say John Isner had the best week ever. Let's give him a round of applause. No shade. He took out the 3 top young guns in succession. Straight.
Anyone can do that nowadays, apparently.
I mean, well, you know what? It's John Isner. He couldn't beat James Ward. So we gotta give him a toot for that. He took out Dimitrov. He took out Raonic, and he took out Nishikori. And I mean, he was breaking serves. That's what I couldn't believe.
That is kind of amazing. He doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And but I gotta say, it's probably the other players. I think Raonic was the most competitive match altogether because I think they had like 2 or 3 tie-break sets altogether. If I'm not mistaken, do I have that? Yeah, I think it was 3 tie-break set. Or probably 7-5 in the last set.
I fell asleep.
It was a 2-serve bot. Ain't nothing happening. And I keep telling people that the way the game is today, serve bots are not going to do well. It's just, you have to be able to return. And because these serve bots that don't have a second serve. And that's a problem when you're against these top players like Novak, Murray, Federer, and Nadal, who make their living returning. That's where they put the pressure on you. They have some of them have a fair to midweight. Their serves are not the best. Federer, I think, has the best out of that bunch, and that's more for placement and not power. I think Murray's second serve is shit, but...
We saw that today, didn't we?
Can we discuss this match? Can we discuss how...
Okay, the ladies are ready to get into the men's finals. Let's go.
Yeah, let's start with the men's final, and let's just talk about the tragedy that was Murray. 2 breaks. 2 breaks in the first set. You break in the first set, and it was horrible to watch. I think the first time he got broken, I think he was broken because he was down love 40, and then I think he might have gotten broken at love 40 again. In the first set, I know in the remaining sets he seemed to have put up more of a struggle, but it was just, for me, that just felt like it was all mental. Like I hate. I'm one of those people that hates to hear that it's all mental, because I'm always like, wow, what the hell does that mean?
I'm surprised that coming into this match, he's 8-17 against Nole, and since that Wimbledon final in 2013, he's lost like 6 or 7 straight matches.
And let's not even talk about that Wimbledon final, because we all need to understand that. And I don't know what happened. I don't know what deal was made with the devil, and I mean that in a sort of general sense. But Novak Djokovic was not in that Wimbledon final. I don't know who that person was, but nobody likes to talk about it because that final is very historic. But there was no Novak across the net.
I'm telling you, I was surprised. I mean, like, look, I'm like, wait. You're telling me he beat him in straight sets?
Yeah, he beat him when he wasn't there. Now, I think the best example of like a Novak Murray match is when he actually won at the U.S. Open, because it was just a mess. It was a messy match. The wind, all the drama. That felt to me like a legitimate win. Wimbledon, I don't know what that was. It feels like this weird otherworld match, and I know everybody references it. Yeah, right.
But you know
everyone references it, and I'm like, what lesson did Murray take from that match? Because it clearly hasn't translated.
But you know what's funny is that all the top guys, Federer, Novak, Nadal, Vidal, when they won their first slam, they didn't beat a top player. They beat some kind of like by the way, run-of-the-mill guy. I mean, Philippoussis was up there, but by then when he barely got into the Wimbledon final for Federer in 2003, he was, it was a serve bot. We knew that was all he's gonna do, throw him some big serve, but we knew it's gonna be a problem. Federer definitely had. Federer, Djokovic against Tsonga, and Vidal against Mariano Puerta, I think it was. They were definitely going into the overwhelming favorite. But Murray, when he won his first major, he beat the guy. He beat the top guy. And right. I thought that was like, he's going to get his shit together, because...
No, because the top guy wasn't there. He beat the top guy, but not... Yeah, he won the U.S. Open, yeah. But remember, that was a scrappy match. It was scrappy. Remember, wasn't he up 2 sets? And Novak came back?
And that's what I was surprised that Novak didn't take the 5th set, because I'm just like, Murray is becoming a mental midget. I mean, this is crazy. I don't know how to fight. He hasn't won this in full. Djokovic is clearly not there. But all of a sudden, Murray just got, very lazy and bullshitty, and, that whole Murray niggled my leg, my arm, my back, my arm.
But apparently they all do it. Can I say I hate that? I hate. Well, of course, Fed never does that. And if he does it, it's always like everybody goes, "Oh my God, what's going on? There's got to be a real deal." But
he takes the medical timeout, and that's it. It's done.
But I hate it. I hate the pointing to the body part, not the drama. I mean, I love the drama of it, but the fake out to me has gotten the cheapest shot in the men's game right now. It's the please don't take me seriously. I'm really out of this match. Wait, I'm not out of this match. I have gotten 9 lives and I am back for my second. I hate that.
Yes, because I think they love the narrative, because all the commentators were just like, for a moment, he looked like he's out of it.
Whatever.
And he got his life together. Oh my God, so amazing. Mental toughness, because the opponent was really going into his face. I was like, fuck no. Okay? This might as well call the chair umpire and tell the chair umpire, I need the medical timeout. This is some bullshit. They're taking a mental timeout.
What I like, though, is I do see that a lot of people on my timeline, they always respond to other players who seem down and out, because that also seems to be Kay's reputation, is that he looks like he's done and then he's never done. But to me, the person who solidified this as a narrative is Novak Djokovic.
Mm-hmm.
Novak Djokovic he's the one that crafted that narrative of he's down, but he's never out. No. And I mean, it's fine if it's a great narrative. I think it's wonderful, because it really is part of this kind of new what is it? The indestructible Nole narrative. But realistically, I think it's just mind games, to be honest. And I don't like it. I think it's cheap. But hey, you gotta win. You win.
On tennis, godly. It is heathen in the world of tennis. And I just gotta say this. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm not trying to be eccentric here. I'm not trying to be racist. But the Serbian contingent are all about this, okay? Five-head Yankovic, Ivanovic the Terrible, they have perfected this shit. When Ivanovic the Terrible walked off the court against Maria last year, and you know I never stand for Maria. I never stand for Maria. Maria could be rolling off the hill and I'd be like, girl, can I get some candy? No, bye, girl. I don't care. But
You're horrible. I stand for Maria. I stand for the girl with the bad head-to-head. Because if I stand for Fed, I got to stand for Maria.
But Maria, when Ivanovic walked off that court and claimed that she had like some heart palpitation, and then in the press conference was just like, oh, I'm okay. It was nothing. That's bullshit. Because she should not have been. She should have forfeited that game. That game should have been forfeited to Maria. Because that was just low hand, and people should have pounded her for that bullshit. But everyone went on, oh, she won. Oh my God, she beat Maria finally. And that's not cool. It's very atrocious. I agree with you. It's like, it's not cute. It's just it's cheated. Unfortunately.
It's low rent. To me, it's the ultimate low rent, and I get it. Fair means or foul. That's how we roll in tennis now. But I feel like you got to man up. If you're gonna lose, then go down losing by playing exactly how you've been playing. Don't turn around and do the, oh my God, I really didn't think I had anything left, but suddenly I dig deep and I'm walking faster, my breath is coming in better, and my shoulders are back, and I can't stand that performance.
I'm telling you, maybe people say in Harry Potter, Professor Snape is dead, but I don't believe that. Because that potion master is doing some fucking magic tricks in those trainers' bag. Because these people be popping some pill all of a sudden, can't walk, and 2 minutes later, boom, flipping, they're jumping, they're breaking neck. I'm just like, wait. Meanwhile, I have a cold, and I'm suffering my. I can't get anything. I can't get any prescription for this shit. My doctor says,
I think that they're doing a disservice to the sport. This weird thing where people suddenly are performing better than they should logically be performing if they're feeling poorly. I think if you're feeling poorly, you need to go to bed, take a nap, and get off the tennis court. I don't need to see this whole warrior motif that we've all developed suddenly, where everybody's got to be the warrior that comes back fighting, killing everybody in their stride. Whoa, I never get tired. Whoa, I never did it. I knew I twisted my ankle, but look, I can still run on it 10 minutes later. What is with, I feel like I have to ask myself, what are we communicating to young people? Like, that's when I look at those kinds of ways that people are competing, I think to myself, we are selling magic. And I think we need to stop selling magic. I think
Professor Snape is making something.
But I did tell Andy Murray as I was watching it on my computer screen. I said, Andy Murray, do not go down this road where you are paying far more attention to what your opponent is doing than what you need to be doing. If Novak Djokovic is limping, stop paying attention to the limping. He's just working out the kinks in his leg. It'll be fine.
It's not no kink. He's distracting you because he know he's fucking with you. I mean, like, how the fuck are you gonna be number 3 in the world and let this man bagel your fucking ass? I'm telling you, when it was 5-love, I knew I was gonna throw my fucking racket over there and be like, fucker, you better give me a fucking game. Okay, this shit is.
What? You know what? By then I was scoreboarding. What happened in that third set?
I knew. I said as soon as I saw
what happened? Wait, I mean, Janina, you watched it. What was going on with the serve? What happened? How was he not able to get even a hold serve once?
You know, Andy was doing that beat on the leg shit. I just, you know what, I gotta be honest, I quit paying attention. I don't even know what happened.
I can tell you what happened. Look, I was subordinate for Padu, and I was just like, as soon as I saw Andy was up in the second set, by 4, and he was love 30 up, I was like, Andy, don't do it. Girl, stay away. Stay away from this shit. Put it in a tiebreaker. If you lose the tiebreaker, then you're cute. Do not do this shit. Do not set up your fans. I could see Scooby is being all excited. Yeah, Murray, mother, get the second set. I said, Nole is setting your ass up. Fuck you up in that third set. You see what you did to Doga Polak? Nole was 2 points from losing, and he just crushed boy who looked like a girl.
Well, that's different though. Something happened with the crazy one. He got hurt. Remember, he had both his shoes off, the trainer out.
Look,
You know what? Let's ask ourselves. Let's ask ourselves that question. What was hurt?
Well, I don't know. But he played like
it was your pride. That's what's hurting these people. It's your fucking pride.
no. He was playing so well. He had Novak on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
So Kopylov was playing great, and then something happened. I don't know. It was
Tell you
probably
what it is.
it was the Serbian devil.
That's what it is. The fucker was close to winning. He was just like, I ain't used to this shit. I don't want all this attention. Last night I beat Nole, then Federer dragged my fucking ass. In Indian mouth.
No, you know what? I saw no, I think he beat Nadal, but I saw Novak Djokovic play Dokopolov at the US Open on Armstrong Court. Doko was in complete control of the first couple sets of that match. Of course, he lost both of them. But it's like one of the things I think is interesting when I watch tennis players is how they're clearly so focused on themselves that they are unaware sometimes of the crazy that's happening across the net. And I mean, like, if you see, it's like, this guy is clearly nervous. He's agitated. Then the best thing for you to do is to calm your shit down. This is what I noticed about Novak, because that's the key to Novak, right? You play Novak and he can just go off. The crowd gets to him, something odd happens. But the person is so unaware that this is happening to Novak that they themselves self-destruct. Do you know what I mean?
Right, but I think sometimes they're not aware, and it is. I don't see a lot of players. It's something I don't think a lot of players are able to do. They talk about warrior instinct, but I think in most cases they're getting lucky half of the time. It's just like, the other player's just a mental midget, and you're just benefiting from the fact that they're not trying to capitalize on this opportunity. I think we saw the same thing with Halep. I was like, Halep was able to hang with Serena. That first set, it was a beatdown. Oh my God. Halep couldn't do anything right. She was barely able to get those 2 games in. Then she was just hanging around in the second set. And I was just like, Halep, Serena cannot break you anymore. Girl, you need to get on top of this shit, because Serena was getting the break points in the second set, but just couldn't capitalize. Just like Halep, you can stay with her. You're fit. You have some shots. It's Serena. They will give you free games. They will give you. Serena has to be like in this almost perfect state. Once the match is over an hour, she's gonna break down. If she's in the zone, Serena can stay in the zone for only an hour. Push that match over.
You have statistics to back that up.
It's true. Look when she destroyed.
Well, that's the difference between Serena now and Serena in her previous era, right? In her younger days. It's like older Serena, there are moments when she will wander. Right? And that's your moment. So when you have that moment, don't make that be the moment you're wandering too.
Exactly. Stay on top of that shit. But the thing about it, she isn't wandering carelessly as she used to. Like, she played Sabine Lisicki in the quarterfinals. I don't know, fucking the second set.
That shit.
She lost 6 straight games, got broken 3 times. Lisicki was just like, girl, I'm taking this shit, whatever. But in that third set, Serena was just like, no more free shit. Boom, 3-love. Lisicki don't know what to do. And Serena just had to maintain. She didn't have to be perfect. She just had to maintain her life and just get it. And she got it done. That's what I think Patrick did for her life. That he got her to be like, girl, you can't be wandering and going all crazy and whatever the case may be. Keep Laquanda on check, okay? She can only come out for like 10 minutes. And one of the greatest, get Laquanda on check. And she really played within herself. But I think it's also a technical thing for Serena. Because when she's wandering, what is wandering is her footwork. It's the, staying with the shots. It isn't that she's getting lazy and sloppy. I think that's right. You're right, Janine.
I think she gets bored, too.
You know, I always think that too. Like, I always think there's a moment. I mean, this used to be back in the day, back in the Federer days when Federer could easily get through matches. I often thought that sometimes mid-match he was like, I am bored out here.
Yes.
What's going on? Their mind starts to wander. They're not being challenged enough. And the next thing you know, you look around, they're like down love 4. You're like, what the heck happened? Wait a minute. I'm sorry.
Like, we had plans, okay? I was planning to leave my house in 10 minutes. You're stretching out with your fucking ass for an hour. And then after you win the match, you're going to be like, oh, the other player was playing fine. Motherfucker, you just fucked up my gym schedule, okay? I was late. You're telling me some they were playing fine. No, I was watching the match.
The difference is they can't do that at a certain age anymore. Now everybody's really hungry. These WTAs are hungry. They're hungry for they're hungry to win. They know they can possibly get a win out of Venus now because all you got to do is just last longer on the court.
Oh my God.
I mean, I gotta say, I want to be mad at Venus. I want to be mad at her. I really do. But Venus and I have gone through a lot of. I have laid her to rest in 2009 when she lost the collar. I was like, girl, I can't support you anymore. We're done. No more ever. But
you said that like some days ago too.
Oh, I did. And Venus was known as the one who will not be named. No, I refuse to acknowledge. If you go back to past posting around 2009-10, then I think she got her Sjogren's and she came back at the U.S. Open and lost to Kim again. I was like, you know what, girl, you're trying. You really try. I got to give you some props. Then the Sjogren came in, and I was giving her a lot of pass. But you see, 2015, no more fucking pass Venus. You didn't play fucking shit. You are contending with these big girls, okay? No more shit. The fact that you let Sarah Irani drag your fucking ass and bagel your ass at the U.S. Open, no more free pass, girl. No. Venus is playing well above her ranking. And the girls who are coming in, who are showing up, they're like, oh, she got Sjogren's. She is fucking free. They're literally afraid of her because Carla didn't know what the fuck she had to do with her life in that first set.
That mess.
And Carla didn't do anything special in that second set other than Venus just started to wander. I can't train a serve.
Well, she's so old now.
But this is the thing. But this is what's getting me mad.
She's not 104, my lord.
Well, in tennis years, I mean, if
mad with Venus and David Witt is that they're not competent on strategy. She needs to go in. Venus is supposed to save those 3-set matches for semis and finals. She needs to go in and be lethal and quick. And she won that first set at 40% for a serve. So I was just like, trouble. Yeah. And they need to fix that shit.
I didn't watch all of that either because it was just a hot fucking mess. Miami was a hot fucking mess. The whole thing.
Yeah, I didn't like any of it. I have to say, honestly, it was really hard. It was really hard for me to stay focused and care. I mean, sometimes these tournaments feel extra. Like and I have to say, I do enjoy Novak Djokovic. I'm one of the rare people that do. But this stretch that Novak Djokovic is in, which is wonderful for him and his fans, and I think it's great for them. But I'm bored by it. So I couldn't get up enough energy to care about Miami. And it depends. Sometimes Miami works for me and I'm excited, but most of the times I just really don't care about it. I don't think about it.
Well, I think I have a tennis hangover from Indian Wells.
Yes, I feel that too. I feel like Indian Wells was very heavy this year.
It was so draining.
Yes, I was emotionally. You know what? Full cop to that. I was emotionally drained, and I never really actually spoke publicly about my experience.
Yes, apparently, and we wanted to bring you on Reels, and Janina and I was just ended up just laughing and giggling.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Indian Wells. I felt, having had a couple of weeks away from it, I felt like there were many things going on in Indian Wells. I feel like on some level, I mean, this is going to really, I guess, people are probably going to be really upset with me about this, but I feel like a lot of the things that were happening around Serena's return, some of it was legitimate and some of it wasn't. I felt like a part of it was...
Hold on, let me just give you...
There's a part of me that feels slightly played by the whole thing. I mean, I genuinely think it's wonderful that Serena went back for herself and all of that jazz. That's great, whatever, wah, wah, wah. But at the same time, the whole thing was incomplete without Venus. And I just don't, I'm one of those people that feels like when something goes down, I need conversations to happen around it. I need for us to clear the air, and I need for us to talk about what happened, what went wrong, what went right, and how we're going to make promises to do something different. I'm not one of those people that can handle a situation where we just pretend nothing happened, or we just sort of glaze over it and then move on. And so for me, I just really felt, towards the end, I really felt like there was a massive performance. And I think a lot of Serena's fans even participated in the performance. This whole, let's get activated around race. Let's get activated around race. And it's like, we didn't get activated around race because nobody dealt with it. Yeah,
the real's true. I'm telling you. I said this before any of this shit even happened. I was just like, this smells like a fraud. This is like a bullshit. Like, I don't understand how you can have this shit and Serena showed up. And I was even mad about her whole video I was mad from the whole jump.
You were mad from jump. So, but the whole thing felt like, I'll just finish by saying, I felt like the whole thing was a performance where each of us played our respective parts. We took on the Serena is returning mantle, and we took on the forgiveness mantle, we took on the race card, but I felt like only Serena's fans took on the race card. I don't think she took on the race card. I don't think the tournament took on the race card. I don't think her camp took on the race card. But you know who took on the race card? Her fans and people who are sensitive to these issues. And we took that and ran with it. And where do we run to? Nowhere. I will just say that next time around, I don't want to be triggered that way. I felt like I was more triggered in ways around racial politics than some of the participants were. And that feels off to me. And so, whoop, whoop. I'm happy she returned. I'm happy Venus is now thinking of returning. Whatever. I mean,
girl, I will cut you off so bad, girl, you would think.
Quit lying. Cut the bullshit. You're lying.
No. Venus, you put one foot in Indian Wells, Venus. You do set that shit straight. You participate in any fucking bullshit like I saw with Serena, girl. I will forget when you had braces and those beads and snotty nose back in the 1990s. Girl, I will be standing for Martina Hingis.
Stop it. What?
Venus she wouldn't do it that way. If she goes back, she will just go back. She will enter. She's not going to talk about it. There's not going to be any fundraising. If she goes back, she's just going to go back. It won't be like Serena.
That fundraising thing, the only time I heard that fundraising thing was two places. When Serena made that talk in the video and when Andre that's it. I don't know how much money they raised. They never spoke about it. They never even spoke about it on her return. And that whole, like I said, my thing was that I don't know how Indian Wells is trying to deal with this situation when for years they call it an alleged incident. And furthermore, they were the one who caused it. They never admitted the fact that Venus had said to them, I wasn't going to play hours ahead of this thing. So there was no reason to keep this match listed and then say, oh, she should have gone out and tried to play. If you said that she was going to try to play, then you knew beforehand and then trying to say, oh, I just found out 5 minutes before. Just like, it's a whole fucking bullshit. They never admitted to the situation. They never admitted that, the crowd was wrong and that this is how these people behave and it wasn't okay. Then you had reporters trying to say Richard Williams made it up. And I was just like, how the fuck are you going to be like, she's mature to show up here? And then you with some fucking immature bullshit that the daddy made it up. That's bullshit. That whole...
all that is to say, to be honest, that like Janina, I felt like there was a real heaviness that came on board with Indian Wells that never really left. And so I just didn't have a lot of the psychological energy for Miami. I really wasn't that invested.
Can I ask a question? That I'm so serious because, again,
sure.
I really didn't even watch Miami. Was Rafa there?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he was there and he lost to Verdasco.
Rap.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't watch that. Not even
You
one
know who
point.
beat Fernanda Verdasco, right?
Yeah, Verdasco won. You know, Verdasco's got that.
Juan Monaco
that
Verdasco.
yeah,
one
and
that
then Verdasco promptly lost to Juan Monaco. So there's like they had a Rafa hangover too. So
Like I said,
Um,
Sheena, by the way, thank you very much. I wanted to wait until we're in public forum to thank you for your Easter gift. It's a
Oh,
picture
you're welcome.
with a bunny rabbit. Yeah, I just think I give a diva doll this Easter. Something isn't rising in his
No.
cross isn't going up. But
Belly was rubbing his
have a
ass.
different view. I mean, like for me, I didn't take on any. I had already made up my mind that the Serena Indian Wells bullshit. I ain't got time for this, So I checked that shit at the door. I was happy to see she was gonna get some free points. I was like, girl, run with it. You're trying to keep your #1 status for as long as you can. Because I think though she may break the major record, I don't think she can stay #1 for as long as the other ladies did. But I think on a whole, I thought that I was very happy to see Simona was doing well. I think Simona is competing after that Australian Open quarterfinal punk out to Makarova. She has definitely got her shit together, and she's playing really good tennis. And even though she isn't playing well on the day, she's still competing very well.
Here's the thing about Miss Simona. At the end of that match, when she lost, I don't know who the commies were. Maybe Lindsay. It doesn't matter. But they're like, oh, this is going to be the new rivalry. You know what? Who fucking cares?
No.
Because until she wins.
Well, you see, this is why RealzTenisFanz exist. Because this drives me fucking insane. People.
There's no rivalry.
Do not tell these lies. You are setting up crazy bettors. This is why gambling houses make all this fucking money. Because y'all are giving irresponsible information.
Listen, you know what? No, listen.
Maria.
Let me tell you the truth of it. This is the thing. You can't. The narrative of tennis is rivalry. That is the narrative that they have settled on. There could be another one, but the rivalry narrative is the key one. Okay. Serena has no rival, therefore her story is not interesting. So they have to manufacture a rival for her. Now that's good or bad with if you're a Serena fan, that may make you very enraged and all of that jazz. But the reality is nobody cares to tune into a match if they think that there's no chance the person has of winning. Exactly. So you have to create this notion of a rivalry. Serena stands might very well want to turn on a channel and go, I'm going to watch Serena pound this girl into the ground. Great, that's an hour. But guess what? If I'm selling tickets, I need you to convince me that this is probably going to last more than 90 minutes. Listen, I go to live tennis. If I see Serena on the schedule and I look at who she's playing, I want to pay to sit there for at least 90 minutes, even if I'm just getting a cool breeze. Listen, there's a real deal. So at the U.S. Open, at the U.S. Open, if Serena is pounding her rivals or her competitors, nobody is showing up for 20 minutes worth of tennis. Nobody. I don't care who you are.
You know what? I am acknowledging that is a legitimate issue. I mean, that is a legitimate point, and I think that is.
And it's not her fault. It's not her fault that there's nobody who's quite can hang with her now. There's no one that's competitive. But the reality is, nobody wants to show up for a tennis match whose conclusion is clear. Nobody does.
But what I would say something to that is just that when they do have the real deal and say, no, well, she's dominant, she's likely to win. I don't like what they say to that. She's this raw power, all this bullshit, yada yada. That annoys me. But I will give you, I would acknowledge and concede. Okay, you have a great point, and it's true for the women's game. But for the men's side, for God's sake, people, don't be telling these lies. Don't be giving Americans hope that when Isner show up against Nole, he got a chance. He has no chance.
He had in the past. Listen, there was a moment. But John has played Novak Djokovic hard in the past. The conclusion might have been clear, but there was an assumption that it would at least take 2 hours. Okay, but look, these are the kinds of these are the ways that we evaluate tennis matches nowadays. Will this take a long time?
Yeah.
How long will it take? Will I at least be able to say that I paid $40 and got my money's worth? I mean, these are.
How long was
right?
that fucking match between Rafa and Novak at the Australian Open? How long was that shit?
When that nearly 5 hours. That nearly took 5 hours. It almost was a quarter of a day.
That was stupid.
Epic. And you know what? You know what? That pissed me off because what the truth of the matter was that half of that fucking time was spent Vidal catching the ball on his ass. Digging out his ass.
You know what?
Both of them bouncing the fucking ball for forever.
Because
that one went too long.
It was epic.
It's epic. But you know that one we all on. Listen. Straight up plain folks that watch tennis knows that was not epic, and it was BS epic. Sports commentators need to sell themselves that story, but anyone who is a normal person knows that 6+ hours was a little too long. A classic is about 3 hours and 50 minutes, maybe. Nothing that goes over 4 hours, I don't even care. Even sex. Nothing that goes on for that long is pleasurable after at the same time, especially if you're doing the same stroke. All right, it's like I said, it's fine. Are you throwing in some different strokes? No.
I'm saying, look, you heard me here on Real Tennis Fan. Andre said, anything over 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen, you're fucking over 3 hours and 40 minutes. It's a problem, people. It's a problem.
Get it done.
Get it done. Okay, get it done. Let me rest, and then you can wake me up. That's what I'm saying. And these young boys out there think that the longer it goes, the better it is for people. Let's stop that myth, okay?
Fellas, listen up. That shit ain't true.
It's lies. And this is the thing that bothers me because my problem is that maybe I really need to not pay attention to the troll. Because I read the Twitter and I'm just like, oh my god.
Stop paying attention to your trolls.
Let's be real here. Isna is 2-6 against Novak. Novak is slaying bitches left, right, and center. I think nearly all of Nola's matches, he almost bageled everyone all the way to the finals.
Listen, let's be honest too, because I know I have a lot of strong fans on my timeline. Anybody that was trying to make
them strong.
Yeah, really? I'm calling them strong. Listen, I'm about to tell you why they're strong. It's the same thing that people were trying to sell you when I put on my timeline that I saw that Serena was going to be playing Carla Suarez Navarez. I said, that's great for everybody, but not if you pay me. Because that was going to take less than an hour, and why? Right? But, they had to frame it as something interesting.
I don't know why. If you look at that, every single match, Serena bageled this girl on her birthday, double bagel.
But you still have to create copy around it. You still have to tell people that it's exciting or that it's going to be good, because there's still tickets to be sold. People still have to pretend they're going to have a good time.
I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm a pure tennis fan. Like, I don't care who I'm watching. It's still enjoyable because literally, maybe because how I got to watch a lot of tennis, like. In the Caribbean, when you were watching tennis, like South American tennis channels, they would show you from the very first round. So I'm not seeing Nole. I'm seeing the South American boys. I'm seeing the scrubs playing. Okay, so I'm enjoying tennis from the beginning to the end. And a lot of times I'm like, it isn't about the scoreline all the time. It's about if Serena is winning 6-love. Okay, that's cute. I want to see the stats. If she's winning 6-love, 40% first up, I know the other girl that went across the net ain't doing shit. She ain't doing shit for her life. It isn't that Serena was playing well. It's playing well. It's that went across the court was just like, you know what, fuck, I'm over this shit. She's going to beat my ass. Because that's what it is. But,
I saw a battle about that. I saw some reference to that on my timeline, like, when Fed used to bagel people, everybody would say he was a genius, but now everybody's talking about this is boring. But you know what? The state of the game has changed. The demands for entertainment is changing, all right? Nobody wants to see anybody bagel anybody anymore. It just isn't, it's not that interesting for anyone.
Well,
So,
some people need some bagels to shut the hell up, and keep them in check. But you know what?
what? What were Janine?
I kind of love when Novak gets bageled. It doesn't happen very often.
But see, it would be unique with it. Yeah, it would be unique for Novak to get bageled.
I could enjoy it.
Yeah, and the same thing with Rafa. It's same thing with Rafa. It depends. Oh my lord, it depends, right? It depends on who's getting bageled. These are the things that people don't ask, right? It's like, yes, it's interesting if Novak's getting bageled because you're like, that's unusual, that's rare. Right. It's interesting if Rafa's getting bageled, but Carlos Suarez Navarro getting bageled, that's not interesting. Come on, who wants to make that interesting for you? Now, fine, if Serena got bageled, you might go, what?
Carla is up there, down full of bitch, hit those fucking backhands. She have been throwing moon, but I'm just like, you're putting it right in Serena's strike zone. Half the time, Serena isn't even trying. Because I'm telling you, that whole match is summed up in a 5-minute highlight. 5-minute highlight.
She probably knew the stats about people beating both Williams sisters in the same tournament. She knew she was fucked before she went in.
It's true. She was gonna be fucked. But you know what, bitch? You didn't need to be fucked by a bagel, okay? You could have been a bagel and a breadstick. It could have been cute. Okay?
Wait a minute. Okay, no, wait. Can we talk about Novak's temper tantrum?
Oh, I missed it. This joy. So, well, you all explain it to me and tell me why did he go into a temper tantrum? What led to the temper tantrum?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, he had it, but I was like, did he lose a set?
I think it might have been when he lost the second set, but I'm not positive on that. I'm not good at remembering stuff like that because I really don't care. But anyways. It happened, and he's screaming at his box, but he's walking in the direction of the ball kid, and he snatched the towel very aggressively as he was screaming, and it looked like he was screaming at the ball kid as he was snatching the towel. And it was bad enough for the chair to give him a code violation and to tell him, you can't treat the ball kids like that. It was inappropriate. And Novak he's yelling at the chair, and he's saying, didn't you hear what I said? It wasn't for him. I was talking to my box, and he said, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. And he said, you scared the boy. And he did. You can see it. The kid, like, flinched back. So that, is why he's the fucking Serbian devil. He's an asshole.
Things get me upset because I gotta say this, it's different strokes for different folks. I always say tennis is racist and sexist. Organized tennis.
Never saw.
People get mad. And I'm saying it because David Ferrer, David Labandian, one of the Bryant brothers, they assaulted officials and they got to keep their job. They made contact and whatever. Serena just got lippy with some woman, and she was right. The woman was wrong. Serena didn't have to get all excited like that. And you kicked her out of the game, fined her nearly $100,000, and made a huge public spectacle about it. Now all of a sudden she gets a foot fault, and everyone loses their fucking mind. Oh my God, hold for it, wait for it. She's gonna fucking explode. And that ain't true. That is not okay. Novak, I'm sorry, Nole should have been goodbye girl out of that Miami final because Richard Gasquet at Wimbledon several years ago accidentally hit a ball kid, and they got rid of his ass because you know what? He's French in England. Andrea Petkovic, he almost clocked a man's head off, the official, through the racket, and everyone said nothing. It's okay.
But listen, we all understand this. We all understand it's the same thing. It's the same reason why those young children could get upset about a basketball game, and everybody thinks it's just blowing off steam and delightful energy being expended by college-going children. And listen, we all understand there's a difference between white anger and black anger. And white anger is assumed as a kind of blowing off steam. There's no threat behind it.
It's spontaneous.
It's spontaneous. It's not character defining. It doesn't mean anything. It's like heat of the moment. I mean, I've always said it. If James Blake spent his time raging at chair umpires the way Andy Roddick did throughout his entire career,
Oh,
we would have a
gosh.
whole, I mean, we all understand on a
Yeah.
certain level what that would look like and how our perceptions of him would be. But we all know that if you are a person of color, you must be stoic at all times, every single moment of every single day.
Doesn't say anything. It's one of the reasons. I don't know if you remember back in the day. That's how I'm much with Venus. Venus was crying, snot was coming out of her nose, and she was like, "Why?" Because the chair umpire had clearly there was some fucking egregious call. And these women, the Williams sisters, have been victims to some fucking egregious playing calls. I mean,
Threw
so
a
crazy.
ball at a baby.
Everyone.
He didn't.
Right. She was a baby back in the day, and from that moment on, Venus hardly ever have any outbursts.
Because you got to control. You have to have extreme self-control when you are a person of color. Extreme control is the only way that you can engage in an argument, which is why Arthur Ashe is revered in the sport, because he took everything they had to give him with a smile on his face. And that's why they love him. They love him for that. And I love him too, because I love a person with self-control. That's just a general character trait that I enjoy. But at the same time, I do understand that it should not be expected. Mm-mm. And I just could not imagine if there had been another player who had done what Novak did, and others have done, and they had a little bit of melanin, what that would have meant. We would have had to had a whole assessment of their character.
It would have been everywhere.
You know, we would have
went into the press conference and said nothing.
We would have had a whole discussion about what this means for young black tennis players coming up.
Yeah.
Model, and if we can allow them in the sport anymore.
We would have had to have a whole discussion about whether they should be wearing suits before matches. I mean,
if they gotta see a psychologist and talk about this thing beforehand.
I mean, we would have had to have a sit down.
You know what my favorite part? On Twitter, Joker now has a picture of his baby, holding his baby, getting a rub down. Like, the best part of ending the day is with family. They're most important. And you scream at somebody for no fucking reason. You scream at somebody's fucking child. Knowing full well, this is what pisses me off the most. Knowing full well he fucking set up Andy Murray.
Oh my God! Stop with the setup. Stop with the setup. Andy Murray set himself up. Andy Murray needs to stop going away at the end of matches. He needs to stop doing that. That's his own problem. However, he went away. Mentally, he went away. He needs to stop going away in Novak matches. I'm not going to...
I've always said that Andy Murray is not in the same class with Nole.
Listen. His desperation might not be the same. You know what? Everyone doesn't win the same way.
I don't think his skill level is either. I don't think his skill level is there either. I mean, those players can figure out. This is the thing about it's not just beating these top players; it's about beating the rest of the field.
Well, wait.
I think a lot of players.
Let's remember that Andy Murray had back surgery when
exactly
over a year ago.
Yep.
Just maybe he's healing the right way.
Yep.
And he has to make his comeback slowly. I'm just saying because
I'm gonna give you that. I'll give you that. But what I'm seeing physically, I'm not talking about physical issues I'm having with Loch Ness Monster. I'm talking about the same mental bullshit that has always been there. I thought that Maresma was gonna make him into a refined gentleman. That he was gonna be. Because I thought that that he was allowed to be this rude, petulant little boy with other coaches. And I think around Maresma's just going to be like, that ain't cute in front of a grown man, in front of a woman.
He kind of cut that out with Lendl, though. That's when he stopped having the meltdowns. And that's when, I enjoy the Murray meltdown.
But Lendl dropped him. I think Lendl dropped him because he didn't want to deal with that kind of attitude all the time.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like healing, because I would say that he made a very good recovery, and he brought himself back up to the top of the game. I mean, he's clearly number 3. D. Vidal is not there. Andrine is missing now.
Uh-oh. We're back to the normal.
Exactly. But I don't know. Oh, she's back. Andrine, you here?
How the heck? Why does the computer go to sleep while I'm on it? That's horrible.
You need to shake it up a little bit. Shake it up. Shake it up.
But I agree. I agree with Janina. Whatever she said, I agree with the idea. Whatever she said, I agree with the idea that Andy Murray is. This is what it looks like when you take your time and you come back from an injury. This is what it means. This is what happens in the universe when you say you have an injury and then your results actually follow that, which is unusual in tennis. We see this all the time. People come in, oh, I have this injury, I have that injury, yet they turn around and they win matches.
You don't have Vidal, magnificent.
We don't have any of that. Even I hate to say it, even our lovely Serena, who said she had a knee injury, but said that she was going to be happy in Miami, and this is
I got a crystal ball in tennis, don't I? Then I see either she's gonna lose or she's gonna pull out. She's gonna pull out.
Well, you know what? Listen. She was smart. You know what? Because if we were tense in Indian Wells, she must have been tense out the wazoo. So she's like, I need a break.
But look it. She worked that shit so good. She had that knee wrapped up before she got to Indian Wells, and when she was done, she's like, "Fuck it, I'm hurt. I'm out."
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And it looked like she might not even show up altogether. But I knew she couldn't show up because there was too much press behind of it.
Yeah, you have to show up at that point.
I noticed as soon as she pulled out, guess what came out? Vogue cover. Vogue cover was available.
Okay, listen. See, this is why Reels knows that I looked at the whole thing and I said, whatever, because the whole thing was a wonderful, fantastic campaign, and I enjoyed the Vogue cover. I thought it was wonderful. I know people think that they fixed her face, but I didn't think they fixed her face.
I don't think they did. No.
I think
fixed the weave. They're not accused of seeing her with cute weave on. That's the issue.
I thought she looked great.
Mama, Austin got a new wig. It's not a better wig, but it's just a new wig.
Oh God.
I liked her hair on the Vogue cover. And can I tell you, I had another conversation with another tennis fan about this. And I actually think it's very important that Serena is on the cover of Vogue versus something like Sports Illustrated. Isn't that odd?
I agree.
No, I agree.
Isn't that true? Okay, fine. That's clear. Like, that's clearly that's the best thing, right? That's crossover. But, I honestly don't believe that the cover of Vogue would have been possible had she not gone to Indian Wells. Does that sound cynical of me?
I would agree, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of, I think, like, the thing that bothered me about Indian Wells, and I've said this, I thought that it was giving people a pass, and it was an opportunity for people to say, just get over racism. It's okay, moving on. And I think it was definitely a campaign. She was playing again to be this refined, great champion, legendary Serena. She's more than just the tennis Serena. And I think the benefit of it will do a lot more because she's getting into quote-unquote white mainstream. But...
crossover is the name of the game, honey.
Right.
The name of the game is crossover appeal.
Because I'm a Leo, and maybe I'm Federer's twin brother. I don't give a fuck about this. I'm just like love. I'm just hardcore all the way. You don't like me, that's okay. I'm getting the shit done, I'm doing my job, and that's okay, because I would have been, trust me, I was a great tennis player. I don't need all, because I would have taken half of this money and invested into, put it back into...
Lord. Here comes practical Reels.
No, and I'm being really serious, because I have watched sports from the sideline long enough to know. You pointed this out, Andreen. The media is not your friend, okay?
No, not at all.
They're going to fuck you over. So if you really want your legacy and whatever the case may be, you have to be doing shit on the slide. You have to be doing shit out of their arena. And you need to do things that when someone can be like, oh, they really helped. Because if you go back to, Jackie Joyner Kersey, I love everything. Those people were doing shit in the community, but nobody got time for Jackie Joyner. No, they don't. They got time to run up with Carl Lewis and his bullshit. But Jackie Joyner Kersey, they were fucking doing things in their community. But you know what? We digress. But now that we talk about Nola, I just want to talk about a couple things before we get to something rather exciting.
Uh-oh.
No, nothing crazy. I hope I kept my notes. I hope I don't leave things. But I wanted to discuss American tennis, but we ain't got time for that shit. And we definitely don't have time for that shit. It's America. But I just want to point out a couple of things that...
We're going to the part of the season that's really going to define American tennis.
I'm telling you. You know what? Girl, I'm telling you. But, I really have a couple of things to say, but I think that requires another segment. But Meanwhile, a lot of you have Indian Wells hangover and whatever, but let's just give some, shout out to several players who have really got their shit together seemingly and got their life together and they may be moving up the ranking. I want to say shout out to Sabine Lasicki. I used to call her Luziki, but apparently she's back to Luziki. Then let's not forget, Slow Stevens is back to being Slow Stevens. I mean, she's playing some really good tennis, and I gotta say a wah for Madison Keys. I know people may try to drag me for this shit, but you know what? I was trying to tell Lindsay on the slide, girl, you need it after that Australian Open semifinals. Don't make Madison Keys' next showing at one of these big, massive tournaments. Too much press. Send that girl to Acapulco. Send her to some upscale place where nobody is checking for her heifer. Look, she could have got Brazil Open and she could have got Mexico title. Because guess who not there? Maria got food poisoning and Sarah Irani won Brazil Open. Madison could have grabbed those titles, but no. And look, Sloane slayed that heifer up in that second set. She was bawling. She was literally crying on court.
Oh, God. I still have to see that. Somebody's been telling me about that. I still have to find that. I've got to find that. I can't believe people are actually legit tears at a tennis match. I really have to find that.
5 Love and Robin Leach or Robert Leach, whatever Lindsay's husband is called. I forget his name.
Robin Leach.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say something with R, but it's not Raja. I don't.
Anyway. You don't care.
Oh my God.
He came out, and she was bawling. He couldn't even say anything. He didn't say a word.
Aww. You know what you're seeing right there is pressure. That is what we call pressure.
And that's what I try to tell people in a second. Just like it is pressure. He didn't say anything. It was just too much pressure on this girl, and just like it is unnecessary. Let these players mature, because the difference between when Serena was at that age and Venus, first of all, Venus, Serena, Maria halfway, they are tennis phenoms, okay? Monica Seles, they were the best, and we have evidence to show that they were the best then and they were still best later on. Madison Keys might be a really good player, but I don't know if she's necessarily great. And they're coming on the tour at 18, so they don't have that mental toughness just yet. So they have to grow into there, and plus the game is kind of different, the sport is different, everything is different. So they have to kind of like grow into it, but they shouldn't put this pressure on these girls. Yes, she beat Venus. Venus is 34, okay? It's not that serious. Everybody's beating Venus these days, you know what I mean? She got to the semis of a slam. That's really good. Proud. Just let her breathe, okay? Because so many people have made it to the semis of a slam and haven't gone anywhere. Alexandra Stevenson, Yelena Jokic. Do you know who Venus beat in the semifinal of the 2000 French Open to get to But you don't tell me the name? Clarissa Fernandez. Who the hell is her? A French girl, Clarissa Fernandez, if I'm not sure, I'm almost sure that's her name. She beat her. And, a lot of people make it to this semi. You may be able to squeeze in, get Petra played herself. Petra had penis on her mind, and she fucked up in Melbourne. And look, I'm not making this up. Petra had penis on her mind because I know Petra had penis on her mind. She just tweeted in Miami about some shit back in training. No, girl, if you didn't show up in Indian Wells and you're not in Miami, you should have been training all the while. All of a sudden, you're going to be training in this. No, you were playing with penis, girl. I know it.
Oh my God.
I ain't mad at you, girl. Penis is okay, but you know what? You can't be got penis on your mind and trying to be a top level tennis player. You just can't. It's either penis or tennis. Okay?
So does she have someone's penis on her mind or just penis in general?
Well, supposedly, the fact that she went with Radek Stefanik, she got penis on her mind. Just saying.
I don't want to talk about this.
I think she got a new boyfriend. I think she has a new boyfriend. She has a new boyfriend. I think so. He's better looking. I told you that I am.
Well, of course he's better looking because it doesn't get much worse.
Oh my Lord! No, I think that's.
It's playing this evening. Radek Stefanik, you have been crucified. There's no raising up from the dead. I really want to get the bad feedback because Jennifer Capriati got on Twitter again.
I don't. You know what? I learned about her exploits on Twitter through you all, like through the retweets. I don't follow her because let's just be honest. I don't like to watch people suffer and struggle. I mean, except when I watch a Sharapova match because I love to watch Sharapova play. I do, but because the struggle is real and I appreciate that. But I can't do.
Girl, no, girl. Twitter is not the place for your Trump therapy, okay? It's not the place. And and she's trying to pretend that that people are dragging her ass for like shit that happened when she was 14. Girl, you beat your ex-boyfriend and was stalking his fucking ass. You were just like, that ain't drugs when you were 15. That ain't shoplifting when you were 15. That's somebody else crazy. Get your shit together. And it's very funny because the tennis establishment, it's funny that they would say something and then all of a sudden keep it hush hush. But what was interesting that she was in the hospital several years ago, and they nearly as well said the whole thing. She was there for like a drug overdose. Like she had I don't know if I want to say she attempted, like let me say that the PC term, accidental overdose. Because
what kind of drugs? Recreational, prescription?
No,
what was
prescription pills. I think it was pills, and she was there for a while. And it's just like I don't understand where her handlers are, her good Judies, her girlfriend. It's just like shit, girl. You need a social media block. You cannot be trying to converse with trolls all over the place. I don't follow her either, but everyone universally said, "No, girl, get off Twitter." Even the trolls, it's too easy. You know what I mean? It's just like, Jen, girl, this is not the place for you, Jen. If you listen to this, you're right. Reels don't like you. I think you're a thief, not because you stole, shoplifted. You were stealing matches. I'm just simply saying. You were cheating. But you know what? You and your daddy look like, but you know what? But it ain't about you and me. It's not about you and me today. It's not about that, okay? It's about the fact that you cannot be airing your dirty laundry on Twitter. It's not the place. 140 characters is not the place for you to be speaking this kind of truth. He said, or did she say something like, this is my truth? No, girl. This ain't your place. Get a therapist, pay $140 an hour. Don't talk to your priest. Don't talk to your mama because apparently she can't tell you shit. No, girl, no. You're gonna get a. It ain't for you, girl. It's not for you. All social media, no Facebook, no Twitter. Get a book. Get a book.
No one's
Get
gonna read a
yourself
book,
journal.
right?
Get a diary. Speak those words. Speak those truths to those. Use those mediums, but not Twitter. Okay. I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't follow you, but the trolls are just retweeting your ass, and it was painful.
It's sad. It's sad. Those kinds of things. I mean, I find it sad whenever anyone seeks affirmation on Twitter. I mean, go ask them. Talk to your real friends about that stuff. Go to somebody local. No.
Maybe these are her only real friends.
Oh, well, that's a sad in of itself. Because Twitter is half performance art and fake stuff.
Everyone is limited to this 140 characters. So the whole idea is brevity is wit, and everyone's trying to be witty and snarky, and and she was a whole series of tweets, and it was like a paragraph. She was going in paragraphs, and she was just 140 characters at a time. And this is my truth, and I gotta release it. Not in the Twitter sphere. No. But it was, but then I just want to wrapping up. We're going to be, next week, I think they're going to be Monte Carlo stuff. And 12, the Clay season, especially.
The beloved Clay season.
Where I have to.
Apparently, you all love Clay just as much as I do.
Well, unfortunately, I have to now refer to Diva Dow as Lord Clay Diva Dow. I mean, like, I must. He does like, 920 French Opens, you know what I mean? And don't forget, Robin Soderland, you can get some free sex because you are the only man to be You got that coupon, boo. You got that coupon, everlasting coupon. Okay, you can cash it in anytime you want.
Oh my god.
But
love.
I hate Clay. I
are
fucking
you
hate
all
him.
worried that Diva down? You know, like should we be worried? Like,
No, no, you know what it is for me. Last year's Clay season was great. Listen, dominance might be sexy for everybody else, only if they're your favorites. Otherwise, Clay is a long slog, and I'm hoping that this year the boys on the ATP tour decide to actually participate in the Clay season and don't put their hands up in the air and say, I'm not going to win anything, so I'm just not showing up. I'll see you at Wimbledon. I would
Well, you know
like
what?
for everyone to participate and make sure that I care enough to turn on my TV and watch from Monte Carlo all the way to the daggone Paris final.
Well, you know what? You know, I have to say, I mean, like we're in our closing stage, but I have to say that the scrubs are stepping up, and that's what I said to my, what I would love to see because these, in the past, Fognini would be getting some easy matches, whatever. But people ain't letting Fognini come in and play some half-ass shit. People are trying to get some scalps where they can, grab some leg. And even in Miami and Indian Wells, I mean, like, Manorino made the fucking quarterfinals. Uh,
My God, these are
I
all
mean, like,
good things.
round of 16, and I think that was an amazing thing for me. It's just like I'm so happy, that he's definitely getting some confidence, definitely getting some money. That's always a good thing. And with Manorino, I wouldn't give you a secret, out girl. You can still stay in the closet. But I do think that a lot of people, I think a lot of the guys are stepping up, and I'm really happy to see that. I mean, Seppi, he stepped up against, but I don't like that fucking shit. Okay, girl, you need to keep your shit to Diva down. Don't be trying to fucking. You know what? I can't believe you beat Mr. Federer, but you can't beat fucking Nole 2 sets up. Okay, so don't be trying that shit again. Okay, when you're at the French Open, you grab Nole's wig and you leave Mr. Federer to fuck alone. Okay, girl.
Well, we need, I can't even believe I'm going to say it, but we need Novak there at the French Open. Because if anybody beats Rafa, it's probably going to be...
Boo,
Listen, let's not even say that. Because Novak has been in a winning position and has snatched
Well, he can't keep fucking it up, right? I mean, he's got to get it right sometime.
Listen, you guys can keep the Novak train. I've been on that Novak train for the last 3 years at the Roland Garros. I'm hopping off.
Well, give me a new train, because I'm sick of Rafa.
Listen, I'm getting on the K train. I'm getting on the anybody who wants to participate train. Everybody.
I am ready.
I do not want. I want us to reclaim.
Train wreck. I'm gonna sit in the back and make sure I got my seatbelt on. I am only Federer French Open #2. Look.
Oh shit.
I mean, Mr. Federer ain't gonna get it done, but you know what? He's gonna damn sure try.
Okay. Well, listen, he's always trying. I just need the other people to try too. Okay. Well, that's all I gotta say. We all have to try.
Voodoo magic you did. What voodoo you do? Passing on to some motherfucker to get out so that Mr. Federer can get his French Open #2.
No, you know what it is? I've moved beyond
that crown. I don't want to see Nola lift that.
I've moved beyond wanting Federer to get a second French Open. I simply want somebody new. I want an actual enthusiastic response to the winner at the French Open when it gets called. We all know that it's polite patter, and everybody wants to pretend that it isn't, but it is. I want the French to get their tournament back, for them to be fully overjoyed by those 2 weeks instead of slogging through it like we do.
I am all for, I'm all for somebody new at the top.
Yes.
It does get boring. And
I'm not there.
Everybody knows I'm a Federer fan.
Yep.
I'm not so bored watching him win now because he doesn't win that much anymore. But when he was at his peak,
I was not bold. I'm going to say right now. I was never bold with a Federer victory.
Well, it's not so. Wait.
Sunday when he showed up in the finals.
Wait. Janina was making her point. Wait, I want to hear. What's she going to say?
So much that you of course like to see your favorite win, but I am genuinely excited when someone comes out of nowhere and wins. I am tired of the big four.
Yep.
The big 3, whatever. I'm excited that Nishikori is genuinely beginning to challenge them. You know,
He stopped. I don't know what's going on here. He stopped. He
well,
stopped in Melbourne.
he had a moment. He had a
In a
moment.
moment. They all have moments. They all can't put it together like that.
I'm
But
just
you know what? I would accept Nishikori's slogging off if he say. I know he's very good at conserving his energy, and maybe that's what he's trying to do. You know, save his energy for the big tournaments. But
No, I think that we don't appreciate what it takes to be at the top for as long as these men have been there. And it gets boring sometimes as a fan because it really is the same thing every tournament, week in and week out. You get a couple upsets here and there, and yeah, it's fun. But the reality is for the last almost 10 years,
over 10 years.
Same 3 guys
are winning everything, and that in itself is huge. That's an awesome accomplishment. But fuck, I'm ready for some new meat.
And you know what? These other fucking players are broke. Cause they got the money.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I looked at the list and I saw how everyone was talking about, you know, Federer's numbers and how Novak Djokovic is equaling them and blah 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 and Nadal and all this. And I was thinking to myself, well, at least during the Federer-Nadal era, they pushed each other and they were going back and forth. And then you had Novak Djokovic sort of sneaking up through the back, and then he has now emerged dominant. Realistically, who is about to break out so that Novak Djokovic could be held accountable? Nobody's going to hold that guy accountable. Realistically, and that's really the challenge. It's like the other guys were holding each other accountable. You know what I mean? If Federer wanted to dominate and get the French, he couldn't because there was Nadal. If he was, you know, and then Novak emerged. Who is holding Novak Djokovic accountable? Nobody is.
The person who can hold Novak Djokovic accountable is the oldest man, Federer.
But it can't be on him anymore. So I say these young people, they need to step up. I need to see what you have to offer. You guys need to be the one to have your breakthrough. You know what you need to do? You need to have a beating like Novak Djokovic got from Rafa Nadal in Madrid, was it? And then turned up in 2011 gluten-free and went on a run.
Sleep chamber.
And an egg.
Listen, gluten-free, however you do it, gluten-free, nobody's looking carefully. And I want you to make that exact same commitment that you are going to win and stop partying with Gobus and turn around.
But there's something else that people don't want to talk about because they don't want to admit it.
Sure.
And this is something that makes Federer in a whole other category. Federer is the only one of those 3 or 4, if we want to consider Murray, who has truly played on 4 surfaces.
Well, yeah, legitimate surfaces.
4 different legitimate surfaces and dominated, minus clay, but he's always been second best.
Exactly, and this is when you're second best behind Vidal on clay. I mean, that's an awesome achievement because had Vidal not exist, I mean, Federer would have been showing up for
like trophies in the 20s.
Exactly. He would have had legitimately won like 12 majors in 3 years.
We already see what happens when you attempt to change surfaces. People start throwing temper tantrums. They say they're not showing up next year.
Let's just bring back that blue clay. That shit was great.
Thank you very much.
You know what's so interesting? You know what's really interesting about that? Let's talk about the fact that everybody gets on Berdych about this. Who survived blue clay and got to the final with Federer? Berdych. And you know what? And who didn't bitch and moan the entire time but just put his head down and got to the final? Berdych. So maybe one of the things that we need to ask ourselves is that maybe some of the surface changes that have made Nadal and Djokovic expect the exact same thing and perform the exact same way has been a detriment to some of the big hitters like a Berdych. Because you know what? He survived and he's been there. He, like Federer, have actually experienced different surfaces. And yes, he hasn't triumphed the way everybody wants to, but when you've crafted a surface to someone's exact specification, of course they're going to emerge the winner.
Right.
Of course they are.
But
you know?
But you know what gets to me is the fact that, you know, you just talked about with the other surfaces, is the fact that this whole narrative you point out, you know, about everyone wanting to, you know, but they've the narrative about They have to craft something in order to make you want to buy tickets. But the other thing is that they have crafted this other crazy narrative for the men that is all about the big four. If they're not there, nothing else is worth watching. Nothing else is worth being there for. So the other players, there is no money, there's no sponsorship. I'm telling you, when people just get caught up in the majors, all the big tournaments, the 500, ATP 500, there's always one of the fucking top four there. So they can't even win shit. So these other scrubs are basically struggling. And I think they really need to, it's not okay. I mean, look, and I'm dating some of these people, my top six. It's these players who are featured in the 250s and the 500, and they need some money. I need some money. I can't be working. Look, on a real serious note, it is disappointing to see how tennis has really turned into this kind of like, we just basically got one looking, the surface all play the same, but it just looks different.
Tennis is about who can last longer, and clearly that was created by some dude who thought that lasting longer was the best thing ever. Lasting longer is not what we like. Variety is the spice of life, baby. What? You can get it done in 20 minutes, and I'll still be happy. But if you keep doing the same thing for 4 hours, I'm just numb. Okay.
It took an hour and 8 minutes. An hour and 8 minutes the first set between Nole, Joker, and Loch Ness Montgomery. An hour and 8 minutes, 68 minutes. Serena was already done slayed Carla Suarez and accepting her trophy.
I swear to God, one day, if I have the patience, I'm gonna time how much tennis is actually played between Novak and Nole, because so much of it is in between points bullshit. I want to know how much tennis is actually played. I think
it's on tennis. I don't like it. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Andreen?
Andreen? Oh.
I didn't disappear. I was still here.
You were here twice.
I know. I liked you so well. I came back twice.
I'm telling you, people, we're bad. I mean, we didn't have Andreen for the first couple of weeks, but no, we're getting her double extra.
Oh my God!
Double your pleasure, honey. Double your pleasure, because the slow surface is all you need. Listen, I want people to be throwing temper tantrums in the clay. I want people to be slipping, sliding, being upset. I want all of it.
The game doesn't really, but this is the thing. I mean, like, look at the women's game. When Serena and Maria Sharapova are the best click-hold players,
you're right.
That is crazy. That is fucking insane.
Well, maybe
Maria.
Maybe Simona Halep is gonna be bringing out her Joneses. Listen, okay. So, what are our wishes for the upcoming clay season?
For it to go by very quickly.
Yes. I mean, like, I don't want to be mad at this. I mean, I want, this is just me being the ladies. I would like there to be someone different, okay? But you know what? They're not ready for the limelight yet, so I'm going to go crazy and say I want Venus to do really well at the French.
Oh,
but
for fuck's sake.
She's given up. This one is done. This one has given up. She has no time for you.
I would like Serena to get back the French. I would love to see her try to get the four.
Listen, you know what I want? I have no interest in a calendar slam for Serena or Novak Djokovic, because as exciting as people think that would be, that would not be exciting. It's not. Like, you know what? There was a time when that seemed like a good idea, that one person dominates the slam. It seemed like it would be fun, but in reality, it's not fun. Because basically we want all different people to win for the next 3 slams, right?
Well, the women have been, I think, for the past several, for a couple, except 2013. Well, the women have been mixing it up.
Yeah, Serena can win the U.S. Open, but I want change-ups in the middle.
The men have been mixing it up in terms of, like, there have been different winners since 2012, I think.
Different, different but the same. I want all different people. I want like a new person at the French. I want a different person at Wimbledon. I want a different person at the U.S. Open. But I don't want a different person that comes and wins a slam and then disappears. I'm talking to you, Chilich. I want you to win a slam and hang around for a couple more months afterwards, okay? I'm not down for that. I want a slam. Bye. You don't see me play ever again.
Yeah.
No, I'd like you to stick around. I don't know, injured?
I think Halep would do that. I think Simona would do that. I just don't trust him.
He's not. Oh my god. He's fully injured this time, as injured as he was the last time. That's all we can say. Oh my god, she's calling bullshit. Bullshit. That's the game.
I'm calling Chilich. I told him we need to get some Cialis in his fucking life because he's fucking wanker. He is some.
That's because you love yourself some Chilich. You know, I told y'all when it all went down, I said it was going to be more important for Kay to win the U.S. Open. I told for the legitimacy of the sport, I said for the legitimacy of the sport, y'all better hope that Kay wins because it's actually a legit storyline. He stuck around. He had a nice run all through the year. It was time for him to have won that U.S. Open and then emerge as the next big thing, and that would have been a fun ride. Now what do we have? Nothing.
He's not even there. Present. We can't even talk about Chilich because he's not even
around. So we got nothing, and that's all we got when somebody outside of the Big Four wins. Chilich, and that's it. And poor Delpo.
But you know what's funny? I think Divadal's problem now that you're talking about this narrative and storyline is that one of his frustrations for confidence is the fact that no one is talking about him.
Oh please, he's fine with that.
He doesn't.
He's not. I mean, like in terms of because the sport has gone on without him. He's been able to enjoy the fact that Divadal is not around, Federer is winning, but now. Other people are moving on. They don't give a shit if Vidal doesn't show up or not.
Please, everybody is already penciling Rafa in for the French. They may not pencil him in for anything else leading up to the French,
right.
But until you take it from his cold, dead hands, as Charlton Heston would say, they have him penciled in. So but everybody's waiting.
If he doesn't win the French, if he doesn't win that Paris title, he's gone off for the rest of the year. He ain't coming back. He's out.
Probably.
Listen, I'd go fishing too if that happened.
Fishing with Marco.
I'd go fishing too, honey. But I think you know what? Let's see. For the first time, supposedly we have an open clay season. Supposedly.
No,
Who decided that? Who decided that?
Well,
we haven't even had any clay matches yet, and we're already saying it's open. We don't know how anybody looks. What the fuck? I hate everybody.
I'm telling you.
Oh my god. Janina, how do you really feel about the tennis? Do you hate it all?
I don't understand that. I can't wrap my mind around that. We don't know how anyone's playing yet. But it's open. Why is it open?
It's for responsible bettors. It's for crazy gamblers. It's for crazy gamblers to go in and say something like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna put all my money on Doga Polov. He might win. He might win Madrid." It's for that kind of madness. I'm just like, look, you people cannot be saying.
You know what it is? It's a hope. Everybody is hoping. Listen, they all pretend they're not, but they are. Everyone's hoping for an exciting postseason.
Hey, you're supposed to gamble with playing the odds. But you know,
I say every single year that Rafa isn't winning the French. It doesn't work for me.
I don't say that shit anymore. You know, Federer set me up a couple of times, you know, and I was like, you know what? Fed, we just gotta try. 2009, Robin Soderlin. Don't forget your free sex coupon. Thank you very much. And I'm good. I don't care what happens in Paris on the men's side. I don't care anymore. Don't care. Federer got his French Open title. We were happy, we were crying, and I'm good for that. The women
before there was
want Maria to win again. I just don't want.
Maria's not winning anything. What's her deal?
Listen, Maria's like us. She's taking a tennis break.
Maybe. You know what? Honestly, before Federer, before Nadal, I didn't like clay then. I don't like it now. I just want it over. I wish the grass season was longer. It's much more, well, it isn't even that pleasurable anymore because it's slow. It used to be good. You know what? Maybe I quit tennis.
I actually like clay.
Oh my lord, we've actually talked Janina into a space where she is now quitting tennis.
I do want to say I'm irresponsible for saying I don't like Venus. I'm done with Venus. Yes, I know. No.
You know what? So you see what I'm telling you? This is what Miami has wrought. This is what this Miami Indian Wells double has done for y'all. I basically think you two just need some Federer pitchers to emerge to wake you up. No, I'm just kidding. But
Don't get me wrong.
Something.
I know. It's because you know what it is.
Clay
It's because the person who's dominating your favorite sport, because you both love a WTA, but you also love the ATP. It's because the person who's dominating the sport doesn't excite you, and so everything else seems.
No, actually, no. You see, I'm not that kind of person. I do watch a lot of tennis, whether or not because I watch a lot of Miami, and Federer wasn't there. I mean, I didn't care. I mean, like Venus was already out, and I still watch. But for me, I mean, I enjoy the clay. I just don't enjoy seeing Vidal there all the time.
Well, good luck, because he's there every day, honey. So you might have to get out with that. So I don't know what you're gonna do about that, but he lives there.
Like last year, I enjoyed Monte Carlo because Federer and Stanley played a very good final. It was an amazing final. I enjoyed that a lot. I thought Stanley really stepped it up. He got his shit together. He was the #1 Swiss player, and he thought he was the shit. And then everything just went downhill for his fucking ass. And Federer, so I did enjoy the clay. I do enjoy the clay. I just don't enjoy seeing Vidal and I don't enjoy seeing Vidal anywhere, really. It's not the clay that's the problem for me. It's really not. I mean,
the only time I have ever watched Rafa play live was when he played Federer in Cincinnati a couple years ago. I've never watched one of his matches ever.
I stopped. You know what? Full confession. I stopped watching Rafa matches in 2009. I haven't sat through a single one. Even when he plays Federer, that tennis is so unattractive. I don't even watch it anymore. It's not good tennis.
That one was good, even though Fed lost. That was actually a good.
It was a good one. I remember that one.
But I don't know. I actually do like to watch him practice.
You spend a lot of time hanging out at the practice court, chit-chatting with people.
I love practice courts.
Yes, you do that.
I remember watching his matches.
Really exciting, but you know what? I agree too, because it's less bullshit chatter than some of the actual matches. Like, when you go to the U.S. Open particularly, a lot of bullshit.
Oh my God, you and this U.S. Open bullshit. You hate it. You hate it.
Who is he? Who's playing? What's the score? Bitch is on the fucking screen. Oh. And then it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Go home. Go the fuck home.
He hates the general fan. He's always bitching about it. Who's this person sitting at the tennis? Not sure.
General fans, I don't like the general fans, and it just be a whole bunch of snotty people, a lot of corporate people just showing up there, trying to act entitled, crazy. I mean, a woman flipped the fuck out in front of me because they were about to cancel the day session. This was several years ago when it was so rained out they had to cancel it again. I think it was 2012 actually. She flipped the fuck out when they were like she couldn't go into the private lounge, and they were like, "Miss, there will be no tennis today. Why would they open the place and there's not gonna be no more tennis today?" And she's just like, "Oh my God, but I got my ticket." Like, "Miss, there is gonna be no more matches. You need to get the fuck out of here before there's a typhoon that's gonna." Why do you want to be in there like pay like $20 for fucking drink? You're not here to go to a bar. You're here to watch tennis. And there's no tennis, so go home.
No, there are people who truly just go to the tournaments to sit at the bar.
I know. They pay to go into a bar and then pay some more.
For overpriced drinks.
That's crazy to me. I mean, I was there until like the last match, like last year, last year at US Open. And I'm just like, how the fuck are you trying to go home? I'm paying like $100 for parking. Get the fuck out of here. You pay to get into the grounds and then pay $20 for a beer? Oh God, you people are crazy. And the markup is, you know what's crazy? That the journalists get like $20 a day and they can eat well. They can get food, snacks with $20. And that $20 can't even buy you a sandwich and a drink outside the journalist lounge. And that's fucking crazy. And it's the same. And these people are there, oh God, this is why I don't like it. It's too noisy and they're crazy.
Are you done?
I know. Zach had a full-on rant.
I'm sorry. You know, we were supposed to end this like 20 minutes ago, but you
ended it, but we spent the last 20 minutes bitching about Clay because that's how much we love it.
And you know what? That was supposed to be another podcast, you know?
I'm not doing any Clay Court podcast. Fuck that shit.
She's not waking up for it. She's not waking up for it. She's not waking up for
it. No, it can't be. I cannot sit through because I'm going to invite a couple of Diva Dow fans, you know.
Oh, no, you're not.
They're going to tell us, what makes him so special, I mean, for God's sake, we have to acknowledge that,
Why?
Begrudgingly, I have to. I mean,
why?
Because I recognize Sharapova as the best clay court player in the world.
Y'all are a mess.
If you can acknowledge such madness, I mean, like,
what's mad about that? Listen, you know who likes Clay right now, and who appreciates it, because the thing that people always thought that the better movers do well on clay, but that's actually not the truth at all. The best movers on clay, the best movers on the tour, at least in hard court, generally struggle on clay. They really do. And you know who loves it? John Isner. He says that it gives them more time. So this old notion that the best movers in the world are kicking butt on clay, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's not true.
Well, I think people who do well on clay have to be patient to work a ball over, basically. And but generally well, because I mean,
just generally well though. They don't have to be great.
They don't have to move real well, because I'm telling you, Serena and Maria, who don't know the shit about sliding on clay court. I don't know what's so hard about that shit. It's just like you slide on hard court, but you can't slide on the street. Slide on, like, what the hell is that? But I mean, if they can do well there, I mean, like, I'm just saying that, I'm surprised a lot of the other girls don't do well.
Well, maybe you'll see it this year. You know how the WTA is all the rage.
I ain't trying to see Mugaroos and trying to mug up any shit. Okay, that Mugaroos, you need to fucking see, all these scrubs, all these winches. I ain't got time for that shit. Because you know why I'm mad?
You're
why I'm mad? I'm mad when winches. I am not mad when winches win because, my favorite didn't win. I'm not mad because of that. I am mad because of the narrative. I don't want to hear the shit how she's great, and next thing you know, the fucking girl can't even get all the qualifications. No! If you're gonna win big, you need to stay on top. That's why I respect Simona. Because Simona didn't drop off the planet from last year, and she basically took charge. What I love about Simona is that she's taking charge of her career. She's like, don't talk about my boobs anymore. Talking about tennis,
People talk about her boobs. They're not even that great.
Well, did you see them before? They were big as a head.
Oh, she had a breast reduction?
Yeah, she had a breast reduction. That's why they're so perky. They're very perky.
Oh, I need one of those.
And I couldn't believe journalists were wanting to have this conversation in front of women. Well, I just insane. And she just said, look, we're not talking about that anymore. And I was just like, you know what, you go, girl. But I really like, because she took charge of her career. She was like, I don't want, any foreigners, got her life together, and she's playing pretty well this year. And
listen.
I'm yawning at David.
Andrea's yawning.
Okay,
We're done.
I need you to stop your rant. I need you to stop your rant because I don't have time for clay rant. You can rant about the clay later.
So, ladies and gentlemen, podcast is about to be over. My two kids do not like the clay. And Janina noticed that Andrine was just like, bring on the clay, and now she's just like, I don't want to hear about clay anymore.
I was momentarily excited by clay, and then I was reminded of how joyless it is, and I was like,
thank you very much. So you just gotta roll with the punches. Grass is only for 3 weeks, then we go back to the same bullshit of the fucking... You have to like clay. You just have to deal with it. You just have to maintain some level of sanity with it.
Oh my God, I care about clay starting in Rome. I pay attention in Rome, and then Roland Garros, and then that's it. The rest, I'll leave it to you. And
We're hopefully you stay tuned anyway, and enjoyed it. But Miami was done and over with, done and dusted. Serena, congratulations for the win.
Woo-hoo.
Joker Harlequin, congratulations. We just get a little, you know. Let's be real. We didn't give a shit about that. Thank you. We knew. Once Federer didn't show up, you were gonna win again. So
I'm dying.
So bring on the dirt,
people. Care.
Hey, guess what? I just want to leave you all with this note. The defending champion in Monte Carlo is Stan Wawrinka. So let's all see how that's gonna turn out, all right?
I don't see Stan getting out of like the third round. I think Stan is going to get that.
Listen, I would be very excited for him if he defends the title. I'm just saying that he is the returning champ, so we're gonna have a.
Actually, I need Federer to win a real Clay Code Tournament Master Series. I need him to do that in his life.
Well, good luck with that. I'm not saying he can. I'm just saying that we'll have to see. We will have to.
Let me take a break. So let's see. Hopefully. Gentlemen, thank you for listening to Thank My Country. Let's give them a round of applause. And again, we have no sponsorship, people. Please. Give us some money, please.
Sponsored by somebody's tears. I don't know who's.
I'm going silent. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed, and please spread the word on the podcast. It's enjoyable. I'm having a good time with my co-host. And if you're interested in getting onto the podcast, I can make concessions for you. Just realizing how you go. And you gotta deal with Janina.
She'll stop you in your tracks.
I'm telling you. She grabs me, and she calls a full stop to your bullshit.
I was behaved today.
You were.
Just
I agree. So, good night, folks. Good day. Good morning. Out.